Namaste and welcome, beloved mighty companions.
Namaste y bienvenidos, amados compañeros poderosos.
How precious and holy for us to come together to celebrate holy relationship.
Cuán apreciado es que podamos reunirnos en una relación santa.
There's so much love to be discovered in a holy relationship.
Hay mucho amor por descubrir en la relación santa.
The only holy relationship is with God in His kingdom.
La única relación santa es con Dios y su reino.
But to accept the gift of what the brother brings into the heart is indescribable, really.
Describir el regalo que trae tu hermano de tu corazón es realmente indescriptible.
The question is, are we willing to stand into all the denials that we think we project on our brother?
La pregunta es, ¿estamos dispuestos a deshacernos de todas las negaciones que hemos interpuesto en contra de nuestro hermano?
Lisbeth, is it possible just to hold? I think there might be a little static on the microphone. So maybe if you hold it like to the side a little bit, sometimes that helps.
Okay,
Thank
better?
you. Yes, very good. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm so totally humbled by holy relationship and this gift from Jesus.
Es totalmente ser humilde esta relación santa con Jesús.
To make what the world created, to take that and completely turn that around and have the brother be the reflection of the denial is so extraordinary.
Ver cómo nuestro hermano nos muestra las reflexiones de nuestras negaciones es algo extraordinario.
And how the brother, when the mind is fully purified of every gift the brother would lay upon the heart, there's just like a celebration.
Y como el hermano, cuando la mente está completamente purificada de cada regalo que el hermano pondría sobre el corazón, simplemente hay como una celebración.
It's that joy that our heart is calling for, that's our natural state.
Es como la alegría, el gozo de nuestro corazón, que ese es nuestro estado natural.
The only question is, will you accept the power that you have as a divine being to say no to all that the ego is going to throw out?
La única pregunta es aceptar quizás el poder que tienes como ser divino para decirle que no a todo lo que el ego quiere lanzarte.
And only be willing to accept a miracle rather than the judgment of the brother.
O si exactamente estar dispuestos a aceptar el milagro en lugar de juzgar a tu hermano.
For me, in my experience, I've had to stand in so many times when I did not want to.
En mi experiencia he tenido que pararme de frente en muchas ocasiones cuando no quería hacerlo.
And say no to that error of thought and just refuse to value that in my mind.
Y decir que no a este error de mi pensamiento y sencillamente negarme a valorarlo en la mente.
But the rewards are just so great from this program, this curriculum.
Pero las recompensas son muy grandes cuando seguimos este plan de estudio.
And to have those brothers given by Jesus to stand next to hold your hand in with all the garbage that the ego is going to throw up is so valuable.
Y todos estos hermanos que nos ha dado Jesús para que pongamos a un lado y tomemos de su mano y desechemos toda la basura dada por el ego para que Jesús nos ayude a botarla. Eso es algo muy
We
valioso.
watched we watched the movie The Hunt for Red October this week.
Vemos la película La Casa del Octubre Rojo esta semana.
And there's so many reasons why I love that movie for spiritual awakening.
Hay muchas razones por las cuales me gusta esta película para lo que tiene que ver con el despertar espiritual.
It's one of the most powerful. Jack Ryan, that character in that movie, just stands into trusting his brother, and he is not deterred from his mission even when he's afraid.
Y hay muchas de las razones. Es lo que se interpone en confiar en tu hermano. Y ese personaje en esa película solo confía en su hermano y no permite que su misión o sea, se aparta de ella, aun cuando tenga miedo.
And one of the really, so many wonderful symbols, but one of my favorites
Hay tantos símbolos, pero uno de mis favoritos
is, well, the movie's really about trust and joining with what you think is your enemy.
la película trata realmente sobre confiar en unirse con aquel con quien tú piensas que es tu enemigo.
And Jack, the lead character, is in a situation where he's got two voices, two captains, a Russian captain on one side, an American captain on the other side, trying to give him orders.
Y Jack, el personaje principal, va a estar en una situación donde tiene dos voces, en una situación donde tiene dos capitanes, un capitán ruso de un lado y el otro capitán que es americano,
And he
tratando de
has to has to make a decision based on one of those two orders or they all die.
Y tiene que tomar una decisión basada en uno de esas dos órdenes o todos van a
And
morir.
see, he was tuned into the voice, and it seems like he followed what the enemy was saying, but the enemy was telling him to turn into an oncoming torpedo, which sounds crazy.
Y como ven que estaba sintonizado con la voz y parece que siguió con a lo que el enemigo decía y parecía entonces que es algo que suena muy loco.
And and so they turned into the torpedo, and that's what we have to do with every single doubt thought that comes into the mind. You turn into it and you look at that directly.
Y así es, eso es como el torpedo, lo que tenemos que hacer con cada pensamiento de duda que pueda venir a nuestra mente. Y entonces nos convertimos en él y lo miramos directamente.
And you join with your brother and Jesus to see that that error of thought is not true and accept the miracle.
Y te unes con tu hermano y con Jesús para poder mirar este deseo, mirarlo de frente y ver que este de pensamiento no es un pensamiento real.
And I just love that movie because Jack's going, well, I'm just a desk analyst. I want to be at my, I just analyze things at my desk. I'm not a field agent going out into the field.
Y me encanta esta película porque ella es una de las personas que analiza y le encanta esta película.
But he accepts the assignment to go out in the field.
Y eso es la asignación que se me ha dado fuera del campo.
That guy stands into fear. He is not weak, and we're not weak either.
Sí, pero este hombre se pone de pie para temer que él no es débil y que nosotros tampoco.
What a joy to talk about or read from a course, The Healed Relationship.
Qué alegría hablar o leer en el curso sobre la relación santa.
Well, the healed relationship is where you refuse to have any judgment of your brother, which is really judgment of yourself and God, in your mind.
La relación santa o la relación sanada es cuando te niegas a tener cualquier juicio de tu hermano, que en realidad es un juicio de ti mismo y Dios en nuestra mente.
Here is your Savior and your friend, released from crucifixion through your vision and free to lead you now where he would be.
Aquí está tu Salvador y tu amigo, liberados de la crucifixión a través de tu visión y libres para dejarte llevar ahora donde Él estaría.
He will not leave you nor forsake the Savior in his pain.
Y gustosamente tomaréis juntos por la senda de la inocencia, cantando según contempláis las puertas del cielo abiertas de par en par.
And gladly will you and your brother walk the way of innocence together, singing as you behold the open door of heaven and recognize the home that called you.
Que, repito, las puertas del cielo abiertas de par en par y reconocéis el hogar que os llamó.
It's so profound. It's so profound.
Esto es muy profundo, muy profundo.
Muy, muy profundo. Because there are so many times, and this is my experience, and he says it, you'll see it as we read in the course, the itch to get rid of your brother that Jesus gives you for healing your mind is so strong, you just want to get rid of him.
Sí, porque en mi experiencia, esta es una experiencia y dice que lo verán y lo hemos leído mucho en el curso, el deseo de deshacerte de tu hermano, que el que Jesús nos da para sanar su mente es tan fuerte que solo queremos deshacernos de él.
And to develop the spiritual muscle and maturity to, even when you want to get rid of that brother, to stay in the assignment.
Y para poder desarrollar el músculo espiritual y la madurez, debemos incluso cuando uno quiere deshacernos de su hermano, de ese hermano.
The itch is so much to get rid of that brother. That's my experience.
Y las ganas o la aplicación es tanta para deshacerme de ese hermano que le diré que esa es mi experiencia.
But over time, with dedication and carefully listening, who do you want me to be with and what's our assignment?
Pero con el tiempo, con la dedicación y escuchando atentamente, podemos saber con quién quiere que esté y cuál es nuestra tarea.
You will not fall for the trick of the ego that's going to want you to get far away or reject that mighty.
No caerás en el truco del ego que va a querer que se alejen o rechácenlo a tu compañero poderoso.
The ego will have so many reasons why this is not going to work, and this is a problem, Jesus, and oh man, Legion.
El ego te va a dar muchas excusas para decirte que eso no va a funcionar, que no es ese hermano. Bueno, muchísimas excusas.
Particularly as you start going deeper in the mind.
Principalmente cuando comienzas a profundizar en tu mente.
Where Jesus is helping you identify all those places where there's denial of God in there.
donde Jesús te está ayudando a identificar todos esos lugares donde Dios está ahí.
And the ego will come up with some excuse. I'm too busy. I got this thing over here. This is not helping me. It's an excuse machine.
Okay, y el ego es una máquina de las excusas y te va a decir que estoy ocupada, que no puedo, que tengo que hacer cualquier otra cosa.
Lisbeth, could you say that again? For some reason, the audio is cutting out.
Okay, because sometimes my internet is slow. Wait a minute.
That's okay. I'll let you know when it's not clear here if you don't mind trying to say it again.
Okay. Okay.
So it's dedication to God to really go against the inclination to project on a brother or get rid of a brother and to ask Jesus, am I still in assignment with this brother?
Es la dedicación a Dios y realmente en contra de la inclinación a proyectarnos sobre un hermano o deshacerme de un hermano y preguntarle a Jesús, ¿estoy todavía en guía con este hermano?
See, because the ego is going to start coming up with things. I can see that in my mind. This is why this relationship's not going to work. This is all the problems with it. This is not, what I'm looking for. And the solution is in the form. The ego's going to say, well, get rid of that brother.
Sí, porque el ego va a tratar de colocar ideas para tratar de evitar que esta relación santa no funcione. Y te va a decir, bueno, libérate de ese hermano.
It is truly humbling then to say, okay, Jesus, I can't even emphasize how holy this is.
Hay que ser realmente humilde.
But to develop the discipline in the mind, to say, am I to be in assignment with this being, even when it seems like you'd rather go someplace else?
Ok, para poder desarrollar la disciplina en la mente y decir, debo hacer una tarea con esta persona.
And then go, okay, it's like, how do I serve? Like there's something that happens in the maturing in the mind where you just go, okay, how do I serve us both?
Ok, ¿cuán útil va a hacer esto? ¿Va a servir? Es como si hubiera algo que sucede en nuestra mente a medida que maduramos y saber si uno está bien.
And you'll discover that the only way to serve is to be true to that voice, what that voice tells you to say.
Y la única manera de que, como podremos descubrir esto, es ser fiel en este servicio a lo que esa voz nos dice y
And
que queremos que nos diga.
do what the voice tells you to do even when you don't want to.
Y hacer lo que esa voz te dice que hagas, aun cuando pareciera que no quieres hacer.
Because you're developing a relationship, you're accepting your divine power to heal the mind, actually.
Porque estás en el proceso de desarrollar una relación y en ese momento aceptas tu poder divino para sanar la mente.
So I could see like there would be moments of doubt and then moments of just knowing that mighty companion is your mighty companion out of this world.
Y se puede ver que pueden haber momentos de duda y luego momentos para saber si este compañero poderoso está O sea, es parte contigo.
It takes persistence, it takes trust, it takes fortitude for me,
Se, nece-
courage.
se necesita persistencia, se necesita confianza, se necesita fortaleza.
Because that mighty companion or the one that he gives you or the several, they will take you places in your mind where you had no idea where you needed to go to heal.
Por el coraje, porque ese compañero poderoso es el que te da y te llevará a que puedan ir a lugares de tu mente y puedas, a los cuales no tenías ni idea que tenías que ir.
And then I've talked about it, as your mind, you just have to, and I'll go through this little list I developed that I find is helpful for me.
Y hay una pequeña lista, desarrollé una lista que es útil para mí.
Well, we know it's a constant state of show me Jesus.
Sabemos que es un estado constante
And stopping telling him why it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
y decirle que no y parar, sabemos que va a funcionar.
And have it's profound though how he starts to reveal to you things and then they start happening and you just go, this is never going to work, Jesus, and then they start happening. It's like,
Y es profundo cómo empieza a revelarte las cosas y luego comienzan a suceder y sencillamente vas y piensas que esto nunca va a funcionar y Jesús entonces te muestra que sí funciona, a mostrarte eso.
I would tell you, if you accept those assignments, the ones he gives you,
Y yo les diría que se aceptan esas tareas que Él les da,
you will experience God through your brother.
y vas a experimentar a Dios a través de tu hermano.
You will see your innocence through your brother. Love your brother as yourself.
Verás su inocencia, verás tu inocencia a través de tu hermano. Ama a tu hermano como a ti mismo.
But not in your idea of how to love your brother as yourself.
Pero no en la idea que tú tienes de cómo amar a tu hermano.
It's so profound.
Es muy profundo.
It's loving your brother as yourself by only speaking that voice.
Es amar a tu hermano como a ti mismo.
By supporting your brother. By supporting your brother in only speaking and following the voice.
Apoyando a tu hermano es solo hablar una sola voz y seguir la voz.
And in that, committing yourself to the truth within both of you, between you and your brother.
Es un compromiso con la verdad, tanto tú como él.
You won't know if the brother will accept the assignment or not if you're given an assignment together.
Y no podremos saber si el hermano aceptará la tarea o no. Se les da una tarea juntos, si se les da una tarea juntos.
But there's some kind of infinite power in accepting the assignment for yourself, whether it seems like the form, the brother says, yes, I'll join with you, or however that goes.
Pero hay un tipo de poder infinito en aceptar esta tarea para nosotros mismos, ya sea que parezca en la forma que el hermano dice, sí, me uniré a tu voluntad.
And it just somehow you just know, like I just, this is the one that's going to help me, that's sent by him, regardless of what else is appearing. You just know this one is valuable.
Y de alguna manera saben cómo me va a ayudar enviando por él sin importar lo que pareciera. Solo sabemos que esto es valioso.
This is a profound sentence right here.
Este es una forma muy profunda aquí, una frase muy
Give,
profunda.
give joyously to your brother the freedom and strength to leave you there.
Si para dar alegremente a tu hermano la libertad y la fuerza,
And I see how this is the pinnacle of trust in your brother.
y veo cómo este
Brother.
es el pináculo de la confianza en tu hermano.
It's very humbling,
Es muy humilde.
you know, to commit to this trust in my brother.
Comprometerse y confiar en mi hermano.
As the one who will lead me home. That's very humbling.
Es con él me lleva a casa. Es muy humilde.
But it's very joyous on the inside.
Y hay mucha alegría, mucho gozo dentro de nosotros.
And come before his holy altar where strength and freedom wait to offer and receive the bright awareness that leads you home.
Y vienes ante su sagrado altar donde la fuerza y la libertad te esperan para ofrecer y recibir la brillante conciencia que te lleva a casa.
It's really so profound to see where you really start embracing what your brother brings.
Es muy profundo para ver dónde empieza realmente en abrazar y aceptar lo que tu hermano trae.
I love this. The lamp is lit in you for your brother.
Y amo esto. La lámpara está encendida en ti para tu hermano.
And I would add to that, and your brother will help light the lamp within you.
Bueno, yo añadiría eso en tu hermano, ayudar a encender la lámpara dentro de ti.
But you'll forget it. You'll see God through your brother, and the next day you'll forget that.
Pero lo olvidaremos. Verás a Dios a través de tu hermano y el día siguiente será que vas a olvidar de eso.
But you start to see, keep bringing your mind back to the value and what you've seen. You can remember what you've seen through your brother, and you just remember that. It's very helpful.
Pero uno empieza a ver, llevando tu mente de vuelta al valor y lo que has visto, puedes recordar lo que has visto a través de tu hermano y sencillamente recuerdas que es útil.
Until your brother becomes the consistent reflection and memory of God and reminder of God in your mind.
Hasta que tu hermano se convierte en algo coherente y refleja la memoria de Dios, recordándolo en tu mente.
And by the hands that gave it to him shall you be led past fear to love.
Y por las manos que se lo dieron, serás guiado más allá del miedo, al amor.
I love this chapter, y'all.
Amo este capítulo.
You know, we've talked about this. I've said this many times. We want this Course in Miracles to be alive within us, every word in it.
Hemos hablado de esto. Lo he dicho muchas veces, cuánto queremos este curso. Y los milagros están vivos dentro de nosotros y cada palabra de él.
Like to read each of these words and just have it sing with the joy of God because you've directly experienced what these words are telling you.
Me gusta leer cada una de estas palabras y hacer que canten la alegría de Dios porque has experimentado directamente lo que estas palabras te están diciendo.
To be so committed to holy relationship with the brother that God gives you, it's holy ground.
Estar comprometidos con la relación santa con tu hermano, el que Dios te da. Y esto es tierra santa.
I don't know, somehow it's just helpful, gets past the doubt, just to, for me, just to have that one thing in my mind, to serving God is serving my brother by saying and following Jesus.
Okay, esto es útil y supera toda duda que pueda haber. Tener esa cosa en mi mente y que servir a Dios, servir a mi hermano, diciendo y siguiendo a Jesús.
The holy relationship is the expression of the holy instant in living in this world. Wow.
La relación santa es la expresión del instante santo en vivir mientras vivas en este mundo. Wow.
Yeah. That's not, the wow word's not in the text, but it's in my heart.
Pues sí, esas no son las palabras del wow en el texto, pero están en mi corazón.
It is the expression of all the love of God in this world. It's an acceptance of the relationship with God.
Es la expresión de todo el amor de Dios en este mundo. Es una aceptación de la
This
relación.
this text is stunning.
Este texto es completo, es impresionante.
Like everything about salvation, the holy instant is a practical device witnessed to by its results.
Como todo lo que está relacionado con la salvación, el instante santo es un dispositivo práctico que es atestiguado por sus resultados.
So again, this is such a profound distinction and value added that the Course has for all of us.
Es una distinción y un valor añadido tan profundo que el curso tiene para todos nosotros.
In that a lot of beings call spiritual awakening when you recognize the holy instant.
Lo que muchas personas llaman el despertar espiritual cuando reconocemos el instante santo.
But Jesus would tell you spiritual awakening is the expression of the holy instant through holy relationship. It's you're not denying God.
Pero lo que Jesús diría es que el despertar espiritual es la expresión del instante santo a través de la relación santa.
I've spoken about this many times where in satsangs beings come to the front of the room and go, I saw the light, I see the holy, they're speaking of the holy instant and recognizing it.
He hablado muchas veces acerca de estos seres y vienen de frente a la sala y veo la luz, veo lo sagrado, veo el instante santo y lo reconozco.
And it is a beautiful symbol of willingness to see the truth within.
Es un símbolo de mostrar nuestra voluntad de aceptar la luz y la verdad.
But the infinite joy that is the fruit of the holy instant comes through holy relationship.
Pero la alegría infinita, el gozo infinito, que es fruto del instante santo, viene a través de una relación santa.
See, it's the fruit of a purified mind that no longer turns away from the holy instant. You're identified with the holy instant, the natural state of being.
Es el fruto de una mente que ha sido purificada y que ya no se aleja del instante santo. Y uno se identifica con este, y esto es el estado natural del ser, esta identificación con el instante santo.
I love this. The holy instant never fails.
Amo esto. El instante santo nunca falla.
Yes!
Sí,
But you can hear it in the satsang when beings, myself included, recognize that light and all the love with it. And then I went to speak in satsang another time. It's like hell broke loose.
se puede escuchar en el satsang cuando los seres, incluyéndome a mí mismo, reconozco esta luz y reconozco todo el amor con ella.
Because the layers that we have placed, the veil over the recognition of the natural state of light, the holy instant, all the desires, just cover it up.
Porque todas las capas, todo el velo sobre este reconocimiento del estado natural de la luz, el instante santo, son todos los deseos, eso que lo cubre.
So what happened? I mean, I saw the light and I was joyous and I was really happy. And then
Entonces, ¿qué pasó? Quiero decir, y vi la luz y estaba feliz.
the and then means there's still a desire not to identify with the holy instant, the holy relationship.
Y luego significa que todavía hay un deseo que no hemos identificado y con el instante santo.
More to see, grasshopper.
Más de eso.
What's the word for grasshopper? I should get my phone. More
¿Cuál
to
es la
see.
palabra? Saltamontes. Saltamontes.
Grasshopper being that, that's what they called the guy in the monastery in Kung Fu, as a trainee, you're a trainee. And so a trainee is just a little grasshopper learning. We're the little grasshoppers.
Es un tipo saltamontes.
Saltamontes, she got it.
Yes.
We're little saltamontes.
Pequeños saltamontes. In Spanish, pequeños
Montes.
saltamontes.
Pequeños saltamontes. I love these words. These Spanish words are so great. Like la cucaracha. That's another good one. Anyway.
No, it's different. Cucaracha is different than
Yeah, it's
saltamontes.
differente. I'm just saying. I know they're different. I'm just saying I like the words, the Spanish words. Okay. Here we go. The holy instant never fails. The experience of it is always felt.
El instante santo nunca falla. La experiencia siempre falla.
God, I love this book. Yet without expression, it is not remembered.
Me encanta este libro. Sin embargo,
That's
esta
profound.
expresión no se recuerda. Es muy profundo.
I get that. I don't know how I get that.
No sé cómo, pero lo tengo.
Well, you got to participate in the celebration and stop denying the celebration.
Tenemos que participar en la celebración.
Oh, it's just profound.
Y dejar de negarla. Esto es muy profundo.
This is why, I think maybe next week we'll do that satsang on why you can't sit on the mountaintop and wake up.
Bueno, creo que esto puede ser el sansat de la próxima semana, porque no puedes sentarte en la cima de una montaña y despertar.
He puts you into function. He gives you a function in the world. He puts you more in the world than you ever thought you wanted to be.
Él te da una función en el mundo y te pone en el mundo, más en el mundo de lo que nunca pensaste.
So you can transcend it.
Y puedes trascenderlo.
The holy relationship is a constant reminder of the experience in which the relationship became what it is.
La relación santa es un recordatorio constante de la experiencia en la que la relación se convirtió en lo que
It's a
realmente es.
it's a freaking song of prayer, y'all.
Esto es una canción, una plegaria.
And as the unholy relationship is a continuing hymn of hate in praise of its maker, so is the holy relationship a happy song of praise to the Redeemer of relationships.
Y así como la relación no santa o profana es un himno continuo de odio en la alabanza a su creador, también la relación santa es una canción feliz de alabanza al Redentor de la relación.
These holy relationships, they're deep. They're so profound because it just brings things in your awareness that you would never see yourself.
Estas relaciones santas son profundas, tan profundas porque traen a nuestra conciencia lo que nunca podríamos ver por nosotros mismos.
The holy relationship, a major step toward the perception of the real world, is learned. See.
La relación santa es un paso muy importante hacia la percepción.
We have really beat ourselves up with unholy relationships.
La percepción del mundo real que se aprende. La percepción
It is
de que
the
no lo podemos hacer en
this,
las relaciones.
this is why it's hard to see this in the beginning, that laying aside relationships of the world and moving into only holy, assigned relationships is you cannot transcend the world without that. I'm just going to tell you.
Por eso es por lo que es difícil ver esto al principio, dejando de un lado las relaciones del mundo y yéndonos hacia relaciones totalmente asignadas por Jesús, que no puede trascender el mundo sin esto.
The ego wants to do everything it can to keep those unholy relationships. Ask Jesus, my favorite one.
El ego quiere hacer hasta lo imposible para mantener estas relaciones no santas.
It is the old unholy relationship transformed and seen anew.
Es la vieja relación que el Espíritu Santo ha hecho nueva.
It's profound how he uses, but he has to assign you your partners
Es muy
for healing.
profundo cómo se usa para la sanación a través de tu compañero.
And he has to assign how the healing occurs.
Y así es, tiene que asignar cómo ocurre la sanación.
Through the assignments that you'll have together.
A través de esa asignación que tienen que hacer juntos.
That you're probably not going to want to have. Just like,
Y probablemente no van a querer tener.
because the ego interprets how relationships work or don't.
Porque el ego quiere interpretar cómo debe ser la relación santa.
The holy relationship is a phenomenal teaching accomplishment.
La relación santa es un logro fenomenal de la enseñanza.
In all its aspects, as it begins, develops, and becomes accomplished, it represents the reversal of the unholy relationship.
En todos los aspectos, a medida que comienza, se desarrolla y se logra, representa la inversión de la relación no santa.
Be comforted in this, the only difficult phase is the beginning.
Al inicio, la única fase difícil es al comienzo.
And when you don't accept miracles, that's when it's going to hurt.
Y nosotros no aceptamos los milagros.
So,
Ahí
an
es
important,
donde
yeah. So, The first result of offering the relationship to the Holy Spirit to use for His purposes.
Así que el primer resultado de ofrecer la relación al Espíritu Santo y usarla para que la use de acuerdo a sus propósitos.
Now, I didn't put this on the list, but this is that I'm going to show you, but it's assumed that you know that the first step is I am turning all my relationships over to you, Jesus.
No lo coloqué en lista, pero esto sí. Eso le voy a mostrar, pero se supone que sabe que el primer paso es entregarle todas mis relaciones a Jesús.
Oh, I just already see a typo. That's the first thing.
Veo que hay un error tipográfico.
So I have this, we have this in English and Spanish, and I put it in Spanish in the WhatsApp. So you have this in WhatsApp already, okay?
Ok, lo colocamos en español e inglés y lo puse en español en WhatsApp. Tienen esto en WhatsApp, ¿está bien?
I mean, I'm talking to Jesus about now. There isn't, for the full purification of the mind, these holy relationships are the rocket ship.
Estoy hablando con Jesús acerca de esto ahora. No, para la purificación completa de la mente. Y las relaciones santas son un cohete.
The greatest challenge for course students is that, and teachers of God, is that they are not doing an inventory of their relationships.
El mayor desafío para los estudiantes del curso es que los maestros de Dios no están haciendo un inventario de sus relaciones.
Meaning they have not gotten super honest with themselves as far as
Que no significa que no han sido honestos con ellos mismos.
which relationships they are to be in at this moment in time for healing the mind. Which are the relationships most helpful, and which relationships do I set aside?
Referente a qué relaciones deben estar en este momento para sanar la mente y cuáles de estas relaciones son más útiles y cuáles de ellas debo dejar de lado.
So the first we know here on this list of how to maximize the power of the holy relationship for awakening.
Ajá, lo primero que tenemos acá en esta lista para el despertar.
It's just profound. He uses the brother to teach us how our relationship with God works. It's profound.
Es ver con tu hermano cómo funciona.
So the first thing, and I could see how important it was for me, is the refusal to hold a single grievance in my mind against any brother.
Ok, la primera, una de las más importantes es rechazar, guardar resentimientos en contra de tu hermano.
And this would, I can see how valuable this training in the beginning of searching my mind with Jesus is described in A Course in Miracles, for him to bring into my mind anyone who I was not, where I had a grievance, and then heal that thing before I went to sleep.
Esta es una de las cosas más importantes, buscar con la ayuda del Espíritu Santo qué relación o qué persona hay en mi mente con la cual tenga algún agravio o alguna disputa.
You know, as I got more specific in my partnership with Jesus, I would ask him, okay, do I work on this now? Because he can start prioritizing which ones do I look at. That's helpful.
Es muy útil el que podamos buscar y preguntar para poder priorizar y pueda ser útil para poder sanar esto.
And this joining that so many of you guys are doing where you're upset but are you proactive about jumping on with an assigned brother to see what's true? That is accepting, learning the steps to holy relationship.
Uno de los primeros pasos el que podamos dar este salto y poder liberar esto y trascender esto.
You know, that's the benefit if you want to speed up spiritual community, because you're constantly being showed where you don't want miracles through your brother. That's just how it works.
Esto es algo que tenemos que ver en nuestra comunidad para poder tener nuestro desarrollo espiritual.
And if it's in guidance, because it's nice, it's good to join light circles, and that's developing your relationship. But for those who really want to go deep, Jesus is going to know the call of your heart, and he's going to put you. You can't go any faster than 24/7 with mighties having everything come into your awareness to forgive, but the ego does not want that.
Ok, a veces está en la guía porque unirnos en los círculos de luz es bueno, unirnos con nuestros hermanos desarrolla nuestra relación. Para a quienes quieren ir profundo, va a conocer la llamada de su corazón y no puedes ir más rápido que los 24.
The ego wants to get mad and walk out and slam the door and go, I'm not doing this, or it wants to take off. It wants to do its own thing. It doesn't want to, you got to turn into the torpedo and look to see it's nothing.
El ego quiere ponerse malo, quiere que no vayas, quiere cerrar la puerta de golpe y decir, no voy a hacer esto. No quiere despegar.
A commitment has to occur in the mind where grievances are unacceptable.
Es un compromiso que tiene que suceder en nuestra mente.
And where unholy relationships are unacceptable.
Donde los agravios son inaceptables y donde las relaciones no santas son inaceptables.
So point 2, you have a grievance, you commit to join. When it's the last thing you feel like doing, you do it anyway.
En el punto 2 tienes una queja, te comprometes a unirte cuando sea lo último, aun cuando sea lo último que quieras hacer. Lo haces de todas maneras.
For me, it was very helpful at night, before I went to sleep, I'd ask Jesus to show me like someone in my family, or, where did I have a grievance? And then, or if I had interacted with someone that day, to take it to zero. You go to ground zero every night. So you don't carry any of the garbage with you.
Para mí ha sido muy útil por la noche antes de irme a descansar y le pedí a Jesús que me mostrara a alguna persona de mi familia o contra quien tuviese alguna queja o tuviese algo que no me gustara, y si había interactuado con alguien ese día para poder llevarlo a cero, y así lo hago todas las noches.
And really, to be unwilling to compromise, you can't make any exceptions to this, because you're denying yourself happiness if you do.
Y realmente estar dispuesto a comprometernos, y no podemos hacer ninguna excepción porque nos estamos negando la felicidad si lo hacemos.
So these are some of the first level things that you can do, but really, when you really want to know who God is, you'll be willing to do this step number 4 here.
Estas son algunas de las cosas del nivel 1 que podemos hacer, pero cuando realmente queremos saber quién es Dios, estaremos dispuestos a hacer este paso número 4.
List all of the relationships you believe you have that you think have value for you.
Hagamos una lista de todas las relaciones que creemos que tienen algún valor para nosotros.
and then be willing to go through it. And this is where honesty of God comes in and go, okay, am I in to be in this relationship right now?
Y luego estar dispuestos a pasar por esto, y es aquí donde la honestidad de Dios entra en juego. ¿Estoy yo en esta relación ahora mismo
For healing my mind.
para sanar mi mente?
Are you giving? At first, the ego is going to scream and think it's terrible, but I tell you what, after a while, it's such a relief.
Al comienzo el ego va a gritar y va a tratar de hacer ver que es terrible, pero después de un tiempo sentimos un gran alivio.
And then develop the discipline in your mind to only engage with others as assigned in holy relationship.
Y luego desarrollemos la disciplina en nuestra mente para comprometerse solo con los demás según se nos asigne en una relación santa.
And to be, it's specific. I will tell you, Jesus is specific. Who, what, when, where, how. It's going to be very specific. How you're going to interact, what you're going to do.
Y ser específicos. Y le diré a Jesús que sea específico con quién, qué, cuándo, dónde, y Él va a ser muy específico cómo vamos a interactuar y lo que vamos a hacer.
There are a lot of, you cannot know God and have unholy relationships unassigned by Him, I'll tell you.
Hay muchos de ustedes que no pueden conocer a Dios y tienen relaciones no santas, no designadas por Él.
And I'll have a little video for you in a minute that hopefully explain why. But it's just unholy relationships, unguided relationships are the way the ego says no to knowing God.
Les voy a mostrar un pequeño video que espero explique por qué las relaciones no santas no son el camino, pero solo las relaciones no santas, las relaciones no guiadas son la forma en que el ego dice que no a conocer a Dios.
So I'm just sharing this for those that want God, that joy that, you want to dance with joy inside. You want the highest rung of the ladder, which is what I wanted.
Estoy compartiendo esto con aquellos. Él es el único Dios, el Dios del gozo, que sabes que quieres bailar con alegría dentro de ti, que quieres lo mejor de la escalera, que es lo que yo quería.
And I talked about a little bit this commitment to serve. Like, I didn't understand that. That sounded horrible, but it's a celebration because you're serving the celebration. I can't explain that. It's just happiness.
Ya yo hablé un poco de esto, el compromiso de servir es una celebración, porque estaba sirviendo a través de la celebración.
So you want to refuse to leave that celebration until Jesus tells you it's complete.
Tienes que dejar de negar a dejar esa celebración hasta que Jesús te diga que está completa.
So let's see if I can get to our little video here. And I realize I need to add a little source here. Let's see if I can do it. Just one second.
Que necesito colocar una pequeña fuente.
Okay, good. There I am.
Okay, aquí vamos.
Make my swoop. Try to get myself on there. Is it going to let me do that?
Okay, debemos
Oh, no, it's kind of doing its own thing right now.
Hay algo en este momento.
There we go. Just so we have a little me in here while I'm talking about this video.
Es solo un pequeño video mientras hablo.
Righty, there we go.
Listo, aquí vamos.
So here's some ways that I find helpful to look at what's happening in a holy relationship,
Estas
an
son algunas de
unholy
las maneras,
relationship.
estas son algunas de las maneras que me parecen útiles mirar en las relaciones.
So here we are, we're just blowing out this dream bubble.
Así que estamos, ya saben, solo estamos soplando esa burbuja del sueño.
And we're pretending like this. We have to see this is Alcatraz, which is a prison in the United States, prison planet. See, this is our little prison planet that we think is freedom.
Estamos fingiendo que este es un pequeño planeta que es una prisión, un Alcatraz,
So,
que
woohoo,
pensamos en la libertad.
we're zombies. So, as part of that, we just created a world of 9 billion. How many? I always forget. 6 billion? Somewhere between 6 and 9 billion. Somebody count them.
Somos unos zombies, somos como cuánto, unos 6 millones, en algún lugar son 6 o 9 mil millones, que alguien los cuente.
So let's get really honest here when we think about 6 billion people, that we actually know which ones out there is going to help us get to heaven.
Seamos muy honestos, aquí somos como 6 mil millones de personas y pensamos que estamos fuera y cuáles de ellas nos van a ayudar a llegar al cielo.
Which ones are going to help us off a prison planet?
¿Cuál de ellos nos ayudará a salir de este planeta prisión?
Now we're talking about maximizing time too. If you had to go through that 6 to 8 billion people, that's going to take time, which the ego wants you to take a lot of time.
Estamos hablando de maximizar el tiempo. Si tuvieran que pasar por 6 u 8 millones, 8 mil millones de personas, eso tomaría tiempo, lo cual el ego quiere que tome mucho tiempo.
So what it likes to do, is cover its little eyes and not look to see it's on prison planet.
Así que lo que nos gusta hacer, ya sabemos, es cubrir nuestros ojos y no mirar para ver que estamos en el planeta de la prisión.
And deny it's on a planet of death.
Y negarnos que estamos en un planeta de la muerte.
So here's the real question with honesty. Are you willing to see that you value death no more than knowing God?
Así que esta es la verdadera pregunta honesta. ¿Estamos valorando la muerte más que el conocer a Dios?
Just something to explore.
Eso es para explorar.
It's just every time we don't follow, that's valuing death over God. That's all it is.
Cada vez que nos seguimos, eso es lo que estamos haciendo, valorar la muerte sobre Dios. Eso es todo.
So really, the earth is just kind of wandering around in a cemetery. Ask Jesus.
Así que realmente la tierra es un cementerio. Estamos deambulando por allí.
Look, we're here to see the truth, right? That's what we're here for.
Mira, estamos mirando la verdad. Para eso estamos
So, the ego's highest value, see, I get to choose. I get to choose all the things I get to do, which is really all the thousands of ways I get to deny God.
El valor del ego, veo que puedo elegir todas las cosas que puedo hacer, que son en realidad miles de maneras de negar a Dios.
So Jesus comes in and says, I'm going to use choice. He uses everything. I'm going to use choice to say, choose differently instead of the blue pill of sleepy sleep delusion.
Entonces Jesús, bueno, utiliza la decisión y entonces utiliza la píldora azul, que es la píldora del sueño.
Choose the red pill, which is the decision to see the truth of God within you.
Elige la píldora roja, que es la decisión de ver la verdad de Dios dentro de nosotros.
And in that, he helps you stay away from all the blue pills that you drug of sleep that you like to take.
Y en eso te ayuda a mantenernos alejados de todas las píldoras azules que tomamos para dormir.
The ego does not interpret that red pill well. It just goes, you're going to hell, it's going to be horrible.
El ego no interpreta muy bien esa píldora roja, simplemente dice que te vas al infierno, que va a ser horrible.
But what you have to see is that all these unholy relationships are the blue pill of sleep.
Lo que tienes que ver es que todas esas relaciones no santas son las píldoras azules del sueño.
And how the ego makes all these little connections. I feel connected to this person and that person and this one and all the family constellations.
Ok, el ego hace que todas estas pequeñas conexiones, me siento conectada con esta persona y estas personas, todos sabemos las conexiones familiares, constelaciones
But you
familiares.
have to see the trick in it. It's going to choose the ones that it thinks or give you safety and comfort and love.
Tenemos que ver, pero hay que ver que hay un truco, elegir los que piensa que te dan seguridad, comodidad y amor.
Which is one big distraction from seeing that each one of these relationships are the blue pill of death.
Y es una gran distracción al ver que cada una de las relaciones no santas son las píldoras azul de la muerte.
So here comes you know who, Jesus, you know this, I love his pinpoint accuracy.
Así que Jesús lo sabe. Me encanta su precisión milimétrica.
He's going to use relationships to help us find the freaking red pill among all of the 9, 8, 7, 6 billion people in the world.
Él va a usar las relaciones para ayudarnos a encontrar esa maldita píldora roja entre los 9 u 8 mil millones de personas en el mundo.
And he's going to keep pointing to here's the red pill, the decision you have to get a miracle and change your mind. Take the red pill.
Y va a seguir señalando, aquí está la píldora roja, la pastilla roja, la decisión que puedes obtener, con la cual puedes obtener un milagro y cambiar tu mente. Tómate la píldora roja.
So then he's going to pick a brother for you and encourage you to surround yourself with red pill brothers.
Entonces él va a escoger un hermano para ti y te animará.
Who you're going to want to get rid of because the ego does not want to take the red pill. It likes the blue pill.
De quien se va a querer, el ego va a querer deshacerse de eso porque él quiere que te tomes la píldora azul.
And a lot of people have complained against Matrix 4.
Y mucha gente se queja de nuevo contra Matrix 4.
But let me tell you, that is the closest, probably the truth of most of all the Matrix movies, and I'll tell you why.
Pero déjenme decirles que es probablemente lo más cercano a la verdad de todas las películas de Matrix y les diré por qué.
Because with all that work that Neo did and supposedly, saw the light and all this other stuff, you come back 20 years later, he fell asleep and he's still taking blue pills.
Porque con todo ese trabajo que hizo Neo, luego vuelve 20 años después, se quedó dormido y todavía está tomando píldoras azules.
And Trinity dies before her function's over, which means she's staying asleep. So she has more work to do. She needs to decide to take the red pill.
Y Trinity muere porque necesita tomar la píldora roja.
And you can have as many Matrix movies as you want and awakening movies, but you're not awake until you're like Lucy and she only took the red pill. She wouldn't take any other pills. Then you're done.
Y puedes tener tantas películas matriz como quieras. Son películas para el despertar. Entonces, esto se acabó.
So those unholy relationships keep you asleep, and he's pointing to the ones that will wake you up. The ego won't like, because the ones that are going to wake you up are going to make you really mad.
Y entonces las relaciones no santas te mantienen dormido y eso es lo que realmente desea el ego. Y eso te va a enojar mucho.
But you have to remember, it's hard to remember. I never remembered this, but I can remember it now.
Pero hay que recordar, es difícil recordar. Nunca recordé, pero puedo recordarlo ahora.
I asked him to reveal to me, and we all have, the desires that deny God in my mind, which he's going to do through these holy relationships, but the ego is going to reject it rather than accepting the power of the miracle.
Le pedí que me revelara todas aquellas relaciones a través de las cuales estaba negando mi sanación.
You know, and you feel like you're being stripped and taken down to a nub. Well, you're being stripped of every silly, stupid idea you have that the blue pills have any value.
Sientes que te están despojando, reduciendo y que esta píldora azul que tiene algún valor.
This is, he's saying, that if Course in Miracles students and teachers do not get that you need the red army of pills and only that, then they're not getting the course.
Él te
It's
está
a deal.
diciendo que los estudiantes y profesores que estudian el curso que se necesita la píldora roja.
And make no exceptions to the ones he assigned you. And the ego's going to scream and say, that's horrible. But I'm telling you, it is the way out, and you do not lose those other relationships.
Y que no hagamos excepciones. Y el ego va a gritar y a decir que es horrible. Pero les puedo decir que esta es la salida y que no se pierden esas relaciones.
All you discovered is infinite happiness and love within yourself, which when you do have a meeting with someone in your family, like my brothers, I mean, I just cry. It's pure. It's joyful. There's no history.
Y todo lo que se descubre es pureza, es amor a través de nuestro hermano.
And they've joined, and because I purified my mind, they're part of my red army inside pointing to God.
Y se han unido y porque purifiqué mi mente con parte de Dios. El ejército
But
rojo
again,
de
to
Dios.
the ego, this looks really dark.
Pero el ego es muy oscuro.
Because there's so many judgments in the mind, and it
Porque hay
it
mucho
has
juicio en la
not,
mente.
the power to accept miracles has not been accepted in every instance.
Porque hay tantos juicios en la mente. El poder de aceptar los milagros no ha sido aceptado en todos los casos.
So when you're first moving in, you're moving into these relationships, this battlefield, you know, you're in it feels like a battleground. I'm at war. Look at this war-torn thing. No, you're seeing what your inside your mind looks like.
Así que cuando te mudas por primera vez en estas relaciones, en este campo de batalla, estás en él y se siente como un campo de batalla. Estoy en guerra. Estás en él y se siente como un campo de batalla.
The purpose of that red army right there is to show you all the places how you have created a hell in your mind.
El propósito de este ejército rojo es mostrarles todos los lugares donde han creado un infierno en la mente.
At first, you want to really cover your eyes and not see it.
Y primero queremos realmente cubrirnos nuestros ojos y no verlo.
And not admit, look, you chose this.
Y no admitir, mira, yo elegí esto.
But you have the power of Jesus and your brother to come and invite you to look, see, it's not true.
Y tienes el poder de Jesús y de tu hermano para venir e invitarte a venir y ver qué es lo que está pasando y que eso no es verdad.
So then you can take the blinders off your own eyes.
Así que pueden quitarse las anteojeras de los ojos, los antifaces de los ojos.
And you value the specific ones that Jesus has given you as you're to link arms with to fully purify your mind.
Y poder valorar aquellas cosas específicas que Jesús nos ha dado para unirnos a ellos y de esta manera purificar completamente la mente.
Yet more and more brothers begin to be the reflection of God in your mind.
Sin embargo, cada vez más hermanos empiezan a ver el reflejo de Dios en la mente.
But you'll want to be around the holy relationships because you're celebrating the happiness together.
Y querrán estar cerca de las que tienen relaciones santas para estar celebrando la felicidad juntos.
And then your brother becomes the reflection of God in your mind.
Y entonces tu hermano se convierte en el reflejo de Dios en tu mente.
Of purity, the reminder of your innocence. Because you see them in innocence, so you see yourself in innocence.
De la pureza, y es el recordatorio de tu inocencia, porque los ves en inocencia, así que te ves a ti mismo en inocencia.
This is the power of accepting those assignments that you don't want to accept.
Este es el poder de aceptar nuestras tareas.
But the benefits of it's the song of prayer. See, that holy relationship is the song of prayer. A holy relationship accepted is the song of prayer.
Pero son los beneficios de la oración, es el canto de la oración. Vean que la relación santa es el canto de la oración.
It's the means to experience the fruit of the holy instant within you.
Es el medio para experimentar el fruto del instante santo dentro de nosotros.
Because you're no longer allowing the brother to be the reflection of fear in your mind.
Porque ya no permiten que tu hermano sea el reflejo del miedo en tu mente.
So, wow, thank you, Jesus. This is so
Gracias, Jesús.
beautiful.
Qué hermoso, Jesús. Eso es tan hermoso.
So I just want to invite any questions about holy relationships or, anything that Jesus is asking you to share.
Ok, así que solo quiero invitar a cualquier pregunta sobre las relaciones santas o cualquier cosa que Jesús esté pidiendo que comparta.
Oh, hi, Mary. Okay.
Hola, Mary.
So what I'm hearing is really an assignment to go down the list of our immediate, people around us or people we're in relationship with and say, okay, Jesus, tell me about this one. What about this one?
Así que lo que estoy escuchando es realmente una tarea para bajar la lista de nuestra inmediata y saben a las redes sociales. Go ahead, Mary.
And I know for me, I would have to join with a partner on it because I don't want to. I don't want to see some of these.
Y yo sé que tengo que reunirme con mi compañero porque no quiero ver alguno de estos puntos.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of willingness and you're exactly right. Joining with whoever he gives you to join with to see, if you're willing to see, for those who want that deeper relationship with God, to have the song of the prayer sing in their hearts. You're right,
Quiero
Mary,
decir,
it would be an assignment.
ok, quiero decir que se necesita mucha voluntad y tiene toda la razón unirte con quien Él te diga que te reúnas para ver aquellas que quieren en esa relación más profunda con Dios y tener el canto de la oración cantando en tus corazones.
And then, as many have done, they've prayed to be brought into their awareness. You can put that to the ones that are the holy relationship ones too. We can ask for that, and just as many who have come here said, I really wanted to have, some mighties that I could join with, and then ask them who those could be.
Ok, y luego como muchos han hecho, saben, han rezado para poder venir en la conciencia, las relaciones sagradas también saben que podemos pedirlo. Y al igual que muchos de los que querían hacerlo, poder unirse con él.
Because I can see, where I was living before I really started following the course. I mean, it could come in passing that I would be in connecting with people from my past, but I can see those relationships were complete and most of them weren't holy relationship. It takes a lot of discipline. I can see that, to turn that ship around to it's all, every interaction is guided toward a holy relationship.
Okay, ella está hablando que sobre todo al inicio, cuando se empieza a seguir el curso, ella se daba cuenta de que se podía pasar y ver personas de su pasado con quienes podría instaurar relaciones santas, y algunas eran completas y la mayoría no eran relaciones santas. Se necesita mucha disciplina y hay que pedir mucho para ser guiados.
But it's a good idea, Mary, if that's the call of the heart, of course, to ask them who would be good to join with. Just look, I mean, you can always say no to them. We do it all the time. At least we could.
Ok, pero es una buena idea esa llamada del corazón, el que puedas preguntarle con quién puedes tener una relación y unirte. Go ahead.
But for those willing to take the steps, the ego won't be happy with it, but ultimately it is the fastest way for those that want that.
Ok, para quienes estén dispuestos a dar los pasos, el ego no estará contento con esto, pero en última instancia es la forma más rápida para quienes quieren hacer esto.
And it's kind of reminding me too about, it's been very helpful for me too when, I asked Jesus, is this most helpful for that other person? Because we're thinking, oh, it's going to be bad for them or whatever. And then you start seeing that it is most helpful for them too, that the decision we're making is not helpful for them. To be in a relationship is not helpful.
Ok, también es algún tipo de recordatorio que es útil para mí. Cuando le pregunte a Jesús, ¿es esto lo más útil para esa otra persona? ¿Va a ser malo para ellos o lo que sea? Y luego empiezas a ver que es muy útil para ellos también. Es una decisión que estamos tomando. Si esta decisión que estamos tomando va a ser útil o no. Go ahead.
I can see that that's where the part of the rub is for me, is that, accepting that I'm saying that, no, it's not for us to be in a primary relationship right now, is I'm saying, well, that's in their best interest too, or Jesus would have to tell me, and I'm balking at that.
Ok, puedo ver que ahí es donde esta parte del problema para mí, que estoy diciendo que no y que es para nosotros y estar en ella, una relación primaria.
Well, that's why it's helpful. Like, it's not really understandable kind of in the world, like to explain, well, we're not in relationship right now. And I really haven't said that per se to anyone. It's more like my focus just goes to, my assignments. I have to focus on this assignment right now kind of thing. It's not explaining to people, or that's another thing. We don't have to explain anything to anybody, really.
Okay, eso es útil, realmente comprensible en el mundo, explicar que no estamos en una relación ahora mismo y realmente, sabes, mis tareas, ya saben que tengo que centrarme en esa tarea ahora mismo, explicarle a la gente algunas cosas. En realidad no tengo que explicarle a nadie.
That's a big relief, not having to explain anything. Jesus, do I say anything? What do you want me to say? Because you're starting to hear Jesus, Mary, and you could just journal, what do you want me to say about it, or how do I want it? Because you've had good success with that, like with Jonathan and, being in where it worked out really well for you. So you have some reference points where this did work super well for you. Some beings don't have that yet.
Ella está hablando de que en realidad es un gran alivio el preguntar, porque sino lo que, al decir lo que Jesús quiere que digamos, en realidad nos libramos de aquella angustia, ¿verdad? Entonces, que es importante que ella haga eso.
Yeah, I think when my loved ones, my children, for example, are the big deal, really get how committed I am, then it's okay. But if I'm waffling, they waffle.
That's a good thing to see. Everybody listen to what Mary just said, because that's how it's gonna be.
Mary dijo que ella cree, cuando lo aplica con sus seres queridos, con sus hijos, dice que realmente se dan cuenta de que lo comprometido que en lo que ella está, dice que si está bien o no está bien lo que ella hace. Entonces, bueno, Kai dice que es muy importante e invita a que eso que ella dice es interesante.
Ultimately, they've let me know they want what I want. They want what I want.
Yes.
A call of my heart.
Yeah, they do. They love you. I can hear it. Yeah.
En última instancia, Mary dice que le han hecho saber que quieren en lo que ella quiere y que es lo que ella quiere, una llamada de su corazón. Y él dice que te ama.
It really has been profound for me, like with my family, that the love's only deepened. It's like when I'm interacting with them in guidance, this is just ridiculous amount of joy. It's free. It's free.
Ella dice que eso es muy profundo, Kai dice que es muy profundo para ella porque con lo que tiene que ver con su familia, que el amor solo se profundice y que cuando está interactuando con ellos en la guía, esta cantidad ridícula de alegría es gratis.
And you know the story too about, like, when I went back to visit, I ended up bass fishing at my brother's property, with my sister. I mean,
ella sabe que conocemos la historia de que cuando ella fue a visitar a su hermano y ella al final terminó pescando en la propiedad de su hermano, con su hermana.
It only gets lighter, really. At first, the ego screams and everything. I get it. It still screams every now and then. But after a while, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, eso es bastante ligero, ¿verdad? Y ella lo gritó y todo. Y bueno, adelante, go ahead.
But after a while, we get wise to the truth that like the commitment I have to love serves everyone.
Después de un tiempo nos damos cuenta de que en verdad, de que nosotros los amamos, como el compromiso que tengo para amar sirve a todos.
Thanks for this, Mary, because it's a nice reflection on how just speaking the voice is service to them, is service to me. It's a celebration of all that is. You can't go wrong.
Gracias por esto, Mari, porque es una buena reflexión sobre cómo solo hablar la voz les sirve a ellos como servicio para mí. Es una celebración de todo lo que no puedes equivocar.
It takes a lot of trust and courage to step into that.
It's true. That's
Se
for me.
necesita mucha confianza y valentía para entrar en esto. Sí, es
And
verdad.
it's the final admission, at least for me, that the world just wasn't working. Like if I pretended like it was working, that makes it hard. But if you go, for me, I just had to know God, the world's not working like I thought,
Es la admisión final, al menos para mí, de que el mundo simplemente no funciona, como si fingiera que funcionaba, que estaba funcionando. Eso lo hace difícil, pero si vas, he conseguido para mí, solo tenía que saber Dios. El mundo no
like
funciona.
it's sort of like turning into the torpedo, because the ego, without like that direct observation that I never really found happiness in the world. I could have all these memories and say, I had Easter Sunday with all my family and everything, and that was really happy. But until I really looked at it and saw that I wasn't happy, I was always in searching function.
Es como si fuera entregar un torpedo, porque el ego que conoce sin esa observación directa de que realmente nunca encontraré la felicidad en el mundo, podría tener todos estos recuerdos y decir, tuve el domingo de Pascua con toda mi familia y todo eso y fue muy feliz, pero hasta que realmente lo miré y lo vi, que no era feliz, siempre estaba en función de búsqueda.
And I hadn't really thought about it like this before, but who the hell was I trusting if I wasn't doing this? Who the hell am I trusting?
Y no, antes no lo había pensado así, antes no lo había pensado así, pero en quién estaba confiando si no estaba haciendo esto?
That's what he's talking to me right now about, is that in-between stage where I'm letting go of that which I think is dependable and
Yeah.
notice that it is not dependable. I thought it was.
Yes.
But it doesn't take me far enough. It's not that it doesn't take me far enough. In other words, my love relationships, my special relationships with my children in particular, doesn't take me far enough to bring me that total, satisfaction and fulfillment and well-being. And so then there's
Okay, can you this is a really good thing that we're talking about. Do we want to oop, rocket taking up.
Ella está hablando
Let me
acerca
get
de que
back
es muy importante porque
to let Lizbeth translate.
okay, puede dejar
Still
esto
there,
que sea.
Lizbeth? Did we lose her?
Yes, can you hear me?
We might have lost Lizbeth. That's why it got
Can you
silent.
hear me?
Oh no, there
Can
she
you
is.
hear? Okay. Mari está hablando acerca de que eso es importante.
Can you hear me, Lizbeth? You still there?
Yes,
She
I
might have a
can
little
hear
pause in the
you. I
internet. We'll
can
give her a
hear
little
you.
pause.
I
It's
can
been good
hear
so
you.
far, though.
she's speaking. I can hear her. She's been
Can you hear?
translating.
And all of a sudden, we lost Mary. How did that happen?
I don't think she can hear
I
you.
I think we lost me. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me restart our audio engine.
I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes,
You can hear me now. Okay, Mary, can you speak so I can test this and see?
Buenos dias or buenas noches.
We're not getting any audio. So Lizbeth is probably translating and I'm not hearing it. Okay, hold on. How am I going to get my speaker back? I lost my speaker.
She hit the mute.
I can hear you. I can hear you, okay?
But
No.
she can't hear you, Lisbeth.
Yes, I can hear Kay.
Yeah, but she can't hear you.
Coming around the mountain when she comes.
Kay no escucha, Lisbeth.
Ajá. I got it. Lo agarré. Sí.
We have no sound.
No tenemos sonido, está diciendo acá.
A1 and Samsung again. Up here, just hit this.
Mary, can you talk again and just see if I can hear you?
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, shoot, I still can't hear you. Okay, let me come back up here.
Can you
But
hear
David
me?
hears me?
We have no sound. Where did Zoom go? Why don't I see? You guys, we have no sound. I don't know what the deal is. Let's see.
The mute button didn't work.
We cannot hear you.
Okay, now I can hear you, Lizbeth. We were trying to get it working. I can hear Lizbeth now. Let me see. Mary, can you speak? It might be on your end, Mary.
Yeah, here I
We
am.
got it. We're back. We're back. Okay, here we go. So this is an important topic that Mary's talking about. So Mary, can you remember what you said? So you can say it again and Lizbeth can get it.
Yeah.
Esto es muy importante, este es un tópico importante del que está hablando Mary y que ahí está invitando a Mary a que hable nuevamente acerca de eso.
What I've noticed is that as I am being more honest with myself about whether or not my primary relationships, which are really fulfilling, are really holy.
Ok, algo que es útil para mí es mirar acerca de mis relaciones primarias y ver si son relaciones santas.
And seeing that they don't take me as far as I thought they did, or I used to think they did.
Y viendo que no, ella ve que no la llevan a
That I was masking them over with all my projections.
y ella estaba tratando de cubrirlo, encararlo con proyección.
And so it's as if there's this kind of, I'm hearing the words no man's land or obstacle course, it seems like.
Es como ese tipo de mundo de obstáculos. Están colocando obstáculos.
Between what I thought I had
Ese pensamiento que ella tuvo.
and what I'm now seeing I don't have and never had.
Pensamiento que lo que ella está viendo y que ahora no tiene y no tuvo.
With some willingness to step into what does not look inviting.
Y con de
At
voluntad
all.
de lograr lo que no le parece atractivo.
Yeah. So there's that. It's like that in between gap stage, I feel like is where I'm at right now, where it's like I'm letting go of the old that really doesn't work and seeing it a little bit more realistically, but still, am I willing to trust fully and step into everything that Jesus is promising? And it feels like it's growing, but it's like,
Es como una brecha, es como una etapa donde ella está haciendo como una selección acerca de lo que funciona o no funciona. Y cuando ella logra decisiones guiadas con Jesús, ella se siente alegre y es como un canto. Go ahead, Mary.
well, what I'm hearing, dare I say this? What I'm hearing right now is it seems like Jesus expects too much of me.
Y ella lo que está escuchando es que Jesús parece espera mucho o demasiado de ella.
It seems like he wants me to let go of that which I thought I could depend on. But I can see right there, there's a miracle in there.
Que él quiere que deje de ir todas aquellas cosas viejas y que tiene que confiar, pero ella puede notar que allí hay un milagro.
And that miracle is being in honesty of God, asking Holy Spirit, Jesus, what is it that you want me to see right here with these relationships?
Y puede ver en la honestidad de Dios que está pidiendo el Espíritu Santo que vea qué es lo que él quiere con estas relaciones en este instante.
And what I'm hearing right now is, Jesus, do you promise you're going to take care of me? Like it's going to be okay. I'm going to get through this.
Y lo que ella está escuchando es que Jesús dice que va a estar bien y que va a pasar por todo esto y que todo va a estar bien.
Because there's real reluctance to think that somehow, and it's a desire. I can see it's a desire just to make it difficult. And when I can get a miracle in that, then I'm at peace.
Porque es real y es la renuencia a pensar que de alguna manera es un deseo. Ella puede ver que es un deseo para hacerlo difícil, cuando lo que puede obtener es el milagro y entonces después obtiene la paz. Go ahead, Mary.
Oh, that's it. Thank
That's
you.
it. Okay, eso es todo. Gracias.
Yeah. Oh. It sounds like there's some good seeing, Mary, in terms of what he's showing you and what you're willing to see. And that's about all we can do in that moment is, okay, what do you want me to see?
Eso hay una muy buena visión, Mary. Es en términos de lo que podemos hacer en este momento. ¿Está bien? ¿Qué es lo que él quiere que nosotros veamos?
I just realized I was like so unfamiliar with happiness that and what that was, that you're right, it is trust because it's so obscure from our mind.
Me di cuenta que no estaba familiarizada con la felicidad, que en la confianza, eso tiene que confiar, y no estaba
But
familiarizada con la felicidad. Y
but
eso
it
oscurece
seems like
nuestra mente.
it seems like you said the operative word, though, which is you see the miracle opportunity, you know, when that comes into full view, yes, I do have the power to choose the miracle.
Que dijiste la palabra clave, que es ver la oportunidad de ver un milagro en este tipo.
And then have the mind decision turn into, I will only accept miracles.
Luego tomar la decisión que se convierte en un milagro.
He keeps telling me over and over and again, especially to the light circle, that it's a moment, but it's in this moment. It's in this moment. I can't make decisions about the future.
Y le sigue diciendo una y otra vez, este es el momento, este es el momento.
Well, it's an interesting thing because technically there isn't a future, but there are future seeming assignments.
Es algo de mucho interés, algo interesante, porque técnicamente no hay un futuro.
And then just seeing that in the big picture of what's most helpful to heal my mind, and it'll seem like there's no future, but it's their assignments. I just find it easier just go, okay, here's the assignment.
Y verlo desde la panorámica y ver que en realidad no hay un futuro. Es esto útil. En realidad no hay, aquí está la tarea.
But he's reminding me, which obviously I must need to hear right this moment, is that the only assignment is to get the freaking miracle. That's the assignment.
La única asignación es obtener el milagro.
And then he helps present those situations where we can maximize the number of miracles that we can receive because he's controlling time and space. And then the presentation of opportunities for miracles is greater when he controls time and space. That's how it works.
Ok, y luego estas son sencillamente oportunidades de maximizar los milagros, entregar el control más allá del tiempo y del espacio.
Yeah, but that call of the heart to get as many red pills around you, it is like a little adjustment, but then after a while, it's a freaking relief to have him pick all the ones that are going to be most helpful.
Sí, pero esa llamada del corazón para tener las píldoras rojas a nuestro alrededor es como un pequeño ajuste, pero luego de un tiempo es un gran alivio el poder elegir todas aquellas cosas que son útiles para nosotros.
And then after a while, for me, I only want to be around the ones that he tells me to be around because I can see that's the celebration of God within me.
Ok, y luego de un tiempo para mí, solo quiero estar cerca de lo que él me dice que haga y seguirlo.
But the greatest thing to recover from is how the ego turns molehills into mountains.
Sí, pero lo mejor de recuperarse, y es como el ego, recuperarse y convierte las colinas en montañas.
You know, the number of times I cried and screamed and gnashed my teeth and then found out, oh, shoot, that was nothing.
¿Saben la cantidad de veces que lloraron y gritaron y rechinaron mis dientes y luego descubrieron que no era nada?
But Jesus, this is just not going to work. Wah, 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 wah.
Y entonces protesto y digo, Jesús, esto no va a funcionar, esto no va a funcionar, y me quejo y me quejo y me quejo.
And here's why, and here's what you're asking me to do. It sucks, Jesus.
Y esto es lo que me estoy pidiendo.
You know, but see, after a while, I had the maturity, spiritual maturity, say, okay, do you want me to just get quiet? Do you want me to do it and just do it? You know, and then, okay, get my miracles.
Ok, luego de un tiempo que adquirí la madurez espiritual, dije, bueno, me silencié y le dije, bueno, obtén mi milagro.
That's all. You're right, Mary. It's get that miracle moment by moment and follow moment by moment. What's next? What's next? What's next?
Bueno, Mari,
Jesus.
estás bien, tienes razón. Es conseguir el milagro instante a instante y seguirlo instante a instante.
The only thing that actually hurts is the miracle refusal. That's what's hurting. That's all that ever.
Lo único que realmente duele es el rechazo al milagro. Eso es lo que duele.
Can anyone here say, God, I got that miracle. That hurt like a mo.
Por favor, alguien puede decir, Dios mío, tengo este milagro que duele como un...
Yeah. You know, it's that perfect amnesia. You get a miracle and it's, oh, you just relax. Oh, it feels so good. Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. And 5 minutes later, you never want to forget, Jesus, what are you doing to me now?
Es como una amnesia perfecta y obtienes el milagro y simplemente relájate. Se siente también así. Dios, gracias, Jesús.
Oh my God, that little red army, that red pill army gets more and more valuable.
Sí, es
But it
como
just takes one.
ejército
You get the
rojo
right red pill in there, you're doing good.
y se vuelve cada vez más valioso y eso a uno le hace falta y eso es algo bueno.
But a pile of blue pill people compared to one good red pill, no comparison.
Sí, pero un montón de gente con píldoras azules comparado con una buena píldora roja, no hay comparación.
One good red pill. That's what I got to take to see the truth.
Una buena píldora roja. Eso es verdad.
It does take courage. What can I say? It just does. But we're not weak little, we're not little weak things.
Simplemente lo hace, pero no somos pequeños ni débiles.
So that's a question. Jesus, am I willing to stop playing weak? That's it.
Una pregunta, Jesús, ¿estás dispuesto a dejar de jugar
And climb the miracle ladder. I'm going to get as many freaking miracles as I need to get off of the prison planet. That's what.
y subir la escalera del milagro? Eso es.
So come on, Mary. We're happy to have you join us as a red pill, one of our red pills.
Así que, bueno, María, estamos felices con el píldora roja.
You're a good red pill, Mary.
Es una buena película, Mary.
Look, it's time to laugh. That's all there is to it. It's just time to laugh and be a little silly. For me.
Eso es hora de reír.
Well, what I was hearing is it feels like a purple pill, little red, little blue in there.
No sneaky. No sneaky. No mixing. Love you, Mary.
Love you too. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Any local commentary?
¿Alguien más? ¿Algún comentario?
You can open. You can open up the
Let me cut your head off.
no, the other way.
No,
The other way.
There you go. There you go.
Keep going. There you go. All right. That was great, Mary. Thanks for sharing that.
Eso fue genial, Mary. Gracias por compartir eso.
I'm immersed in the red pill relationship.
Estoy inmerso en la píldora roja.
And I have a lot of thoughts about seeing my sisters and my friends, and I'm not staying in contact.
Y tengo muchos pensamientos, ver a mis hermanas, mis amigos, y no estar en contacto.
But at the same time, I'm committed to the choice for God's happiness versus the world's version.
Ok, pero al mismo tiempo que estoy comprometido con él, la elección para la felicidad de Dios contra la versión del mundo.
And like you said, Mary, I can see clearly that the unholy relationships are not truly supportive.
Y tal como Mary, puedo ver claramente las relaciones no santas no son verdaderamente solidarias.
And I feel the ego's opposition to my even saying that.
Y puedo ver o sentir la oposición del ego a que yo diga eso.
And it's interesting, the ego's opposition comes up, throughout the day, every day.
Es interesante cómo surge la oposición del ego a lo largo del día, todos los días.
But the truth, only the truth is true, Jesus is saying.
Pero solo la verdad es verdad. Eso dice Jesús.
And the real call of my heart is to know the truth of God.
Y la verdadera llamada de mi corazón es conocer la verdad de Dios.
You know, Kay said to me yesterday, are you going to heaven with me?
Y que me dijo ayer, ¿vas a ir al cielo conmigo?
And I said, well, the ego says no, but I'm still here.
Y dije, bueno, el ego dice que no, pero todavía estoy aquí.
And, you know, by seeing what my mighty companions, all of you have been through over the years, healing your mind,
Ok, mis compañeros poderosos, que han pasado por todo eso. Con
it
los
inspires
años,
me.
me han
It
inspirado.
inspires me to keep. Yeah, I'm sorry, Elizabeth.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, it inspires me to keep going. You know, not just Kay, but those that are here as mighties and have been at the center, you know, and have healed your mind to the degree that you have. It's very inspiring to me.
Ok, y todos los hermanos que los inspiran a seguir adelante, no solo que todos aquellos que están aquí como compañeros poderosos y allí en el centro.
And then, Mary, you said it's easy to get caught up in the future, but really all we have is this moment.
Y como dijo Mary, es fácil quedar atrapado en el futuro, pero realmente todo lo que tenemos es el ahora, el presente, el momento.
So, yeah, it is a challenge to debate with the ego about this.
Es un desafío debatir con el ego acerca de esto.
But I know that I know that I have the strength, the inner strength to carry on and to win the battle.
Sé que tengo la fuerza interior para seguir adelante y ganar esta batalla.
There is light at the end of the tunnel, no question.
Hay luz al final del túnel.
So, yeah, I thank you all of our mighties, all of my mighties. I thank you all for your devotion and your light, shining the light for me.
Gracias a todos mis compañeros, a todos y cada uno de ustedes por su devoción y la luz que brilla para mí.
Yeah, I see that you are all red pill mighties for me.
Y puedo ver que todos ustedes, compañeros, son una poderosa píldora roja para mí.
And something I lean on is that Jesus said, I will not take your relationships, your important relationships away from you.
Y algo en lo que me apoyé es lo que Jesús dijo, no voy a quitar de tus relaciones importantes.
He says, I will transform them, and Kay is a perfect example of that.
Y la actuación de Kai es importante.
And I've had a couple of what I consider to be close relationships.
Y he tenido un par de lo que consideramos parientes cercanos.
That I knew they were not guided.
Y sabía que no me estaban sirviendo, que no eran guiados.
And I did not know how to get out of the relationships with them.
Y no sabía cómo salir de esa relación con él.
But I prayed to Jesus to ask him help me, and he ended both relationships for me by them telling me,
Pero le pedí a Jesús que me ayudara y él terminó ambas relaciones por mí.
Well, actually, one guy told me that he didn't feel that we were, that this was a good relationship.
Y 10 personas me dijeron que no teníamos una buena relación.
And the other one, when I went home last spring from my stay here,
Y la otra persona fue cuando volví a casa la primavera pasada de mi estancia aquí.
he never, excuse me, he never returned my call.
Y nunca me devolvió la llamada.
So I can see now that Jesus will handle all of my relationships for me. All I have to do is give them to him.
Y puedo ver ahora que Jesús se encarga de todas mis relaciones por mí. Y todo lo que tengo que hacer es entregárselas a él.
And those who are closest to me, my closest friends and my sisters, they understand why I'm here.
Y a todos aquellos más cerca de mí, mis amigos más cercanos, mis hermanas, entienden por qué estoy aquí.
So yeah, I've just put all my trust in him that everything will be taken care of.
Y acabo de poner toda mi confianza y él lo atenderá todo.
As he promises by saying, I will take care of all your lower order concerns.
Él promete al decir que él se encargará de todas las cosas y todas mis preocupaciones menores.
So that, all of this, it just gives me the comfort and the willingness to keep moving forward.
Y todo esto me da en realidad la comodidad y él me da la voluntad de mantenerme.
And that's my share. Gracias.
Ese es mi compartir. Gracias.
Yeah, thank you, David.
Gracias, David.
Boy, when that strikes in the mind, the mighty companions and what they bring to you, it's everything.
Cuando eso está en la mente, los compañeros poderosos y lo que nos traen, eso es todo.
But like first you want to kill them, but after that, once you're over, you get kind of past that, and you start seeing walking shoulder to shoulder into heaven will keep it from tipping over.
Pero al inicio quieres que matarlo, pero bueno, una vez que estás con ellos, que te unes, los esperas, empiezas a ver que el caminar junto a él, hombro con hombro, van hacia el cielo. De esa manera alcanzaré la
It's really important to remember the only time it's going to hurt is when you're saying no to the miracle.
Es muy importante recordar que la única vez que va a doler es cuando estás diciendo que no al milagro.
So that's a good question. You can ask Jesus, is this hurting because I haven't accepted the miracle?
Esa es una buena pregunta para hacer la justicia. Esto duele porque no se me pide, no he aceptado el milagro.
So not enough can be said about holy relationships, and all of you who have been so devoted, like David says, I love it. I just love joining with all of you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, mighties.
No se puede decir lo suficiente sobre las relaciones santas. Y todos los que ustedes han sido tan devotos como David dice que son. Eso me
There is nothing like that recognition in my heart of knowing my mighties are my way out.
No hay nada como ese reconocimiento en mi corazón de conocer a mis dos compañeros en mi salida.
It's a beautiful perspective to have.
Es una hermosa perspectiva.
So I love you all. We love you. We send you love and big hugs.
Los amo a todos. Un gran abrazo. Le enviamos amor.
Buenas noches.
Lena's got her hand.
Oh, Lena. Okay, Lena wants to say. Okay. Let me.
Turn your camera on.
Lina.
Oh yeah, you have to turn your camera on so I can spotlight you. Can you turn your camera on, Lena?
Tienes que encender la cámara para poder destacarlo.
Bueno.
Mm.
Oh. Buenas noches, Lena.
Hola, buenas noches.
Good evening, Lina.
Realmente me estaba despidiendo, no sé qué decir.
I was saying goodbye. I don't know how to say.
Es un tema muy profundo.
It's a profound theme.
Sé lo que está señalando Jesús.
And I know what Jesus is not on about this theme.
Y que no puede ser de otra manera.
It must not be the other way.
Así es que voy a
Right.
terminar haciendo.
No te escucho.
Voy a terminar haciendo lo que Jesús quiere que haga.
Okay, I'm going to do what Jesus is telling me to do.
Oh, excelente.
Eh,
It's the way.
Ese es el camino.
I'm telling you, it is so profound when you know in your heart who your red pill people are.
Eso es lo que te dice, es tan profundo. ¿Quiénes son las personas de la política?
Who the ones are that are to go all the way with you. It's beautiful.
¿Quiénes son los que van a ir todo el camino contigo? Eso es hermoso.
Sí, no se
Thank
puede ya vivir. Realmente no se puede ya vivir sin el Espíritu.
No te escuché, Lina.
Realmente ya no se puede vivir sin el Espíritu. No es vida.
Okay. Live without the spirit is life.
Lisbeth, could you say that again, por favor, a little closer to the mic?
Okay, live without the spirit is not life.
Oh, beautiful. Hermosa. Hermosa.
Okay, yes.
Love you, Lena, always.
I love you.
Siempre.
So grateful for you, Lena.
Agradecida, muy agradecida de ti, Lina.
Me too, for you. Thank you.
Yes, okay, big hugs, abrazos por todos.
Abrazos para todos.
Big hugs for everybody.
Abrazos para todos. Bye, bye.
Love you all, love you all. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Oh, that. Vamos por Dios.
4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis. Final visit against the vision of Hubble, the deepest grandeur of our universe.
Bypassed across the board, Scooter, no action.
Houston now controlling, Atlantis on its way. Atlantis on its way, all 3 engines now throttling down as the vehicle passes through the area of maximum dynamic pressure.
Atlantis, Houston, no action on the MTS H2 outpeak.